Surprise, everyone! All of your starting from scratch mentors are here today to celebrate your excellent work.
Why don't we dive into today's live stream? Don't forget to always be respectful in the chat. Thank you.
With that being said, welcome!
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Starting from Scratch, but this will be more like ending from scratch because this is the 10th and final class.
Today will be a slightly different class, since it's the last class and we wanted to celebrate all of your success.
We will be doing introductions, recapping our class through our mentor project showcase, going through our coolest project participants, and lastly, we'll end with a mega Mentimeter.
Today, you all will learn the value of striving for your goals and how you can use the resources from the class to continue to do amazing things.
So with starting from scratch, we all are really glad that we've had the opportunity to work as an international team and have fun every single week learning more about Scratch.
I hope you all remember all of us after this 10-week journey, but just in case you forgot, I'm Mira.
I'm Mira.
I'm Nardos.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Abia, and we're the team from the US. Our mentor, Yusra, will be joining us soon.
Okay. Arthur, I'm Vakish.
I'm Pallav.
And lastly, I'm Soha, and we're the team from India.
All right, who is going to start off this journey? All right, Mira and Tanisha. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye-bye. We're out.
See you later.
Toodles.
All right, so week one, seems like such a long time ago. So let's dive right in and recap what happened.
Great idea, Mira.
So we want to start by thanking all of you for coming to class every week and participating in the chat during the Mentees and in the Scratch Studios.
We couldn't have done this without you. With your participation, we were able to get
over 22,000 views on the live streams.
and over 450 studio projects.
We also have over 550 views on our lesson plans.
And over 100 studio followers.
This live stream series and our community of Scratchers has turned out to be a huge success.
So successful that we're going to be going down a trip down memory lane today. We'll be doing an overview of the last 9 classes.
For each class, we'll be taking a look at 2 studio projects, some new and some old. And we'll also be doing a mini Mentee. At the end, we'll have 1 mega Mentee and we'll be doing it together.
First up is the introduction of starting from scratch. During this class, you saw all the mentors for the first time. We practiced signing on to Scratch and added projects to the first studio.
While we were making the project, we learned how to make a sprite talk and how to add backdrops. We also talked about the importance of coding and learned some debugging tips.
This class kick-started the series, so without further ado, on to the Mentee.
So, like always, we're going to go to menti.com and type in the code. This is a mini Mentee, so we have 2 questions prepared per class. But remember, after we wrap up class 1, do not sign out of the Mentee. We'll be using the same code for all 9 classes, so the game will continue even as we present. So let's head over to our mini Mentee, and it looks like we have our first player. We've got 2 more. So right now we have a frog, a fish, a lion, and a dragon.
Looks like that's all animals today. Oh no, not anymore.
Not the ghost. And now we've got a donut and a flag too.
I like the crown.
I do too. And I like the truck that just came up. Oh look, people are coming on faster. My favorite emoji? I'm gonna have to say the lollipop. It just came up right now. What about you?
I think I'll go with the spade.
Yeah, the spade is pretty cool. So we have 30 players right now. We're going to wait a couple more seconds. And the code is 6907482. And remember, you want to stay on this Menti throughout the entire presentation because we're going to be coming back to it.
Do you think we should get started now? I don't see many people joining.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So here's question 1. And it's actually a true or false question. So true or false, code is a set of instructions. And the faster you answer, the more points you get.
You have 10 seconds to this question.
3, 2, 1. Time's up. Looks like most of you got it right. Code is a set of instructions. That's true. Let's move on to our second question.
Again, I'm fast to get more points. What does STEM stand for?
Science, takeaway, enabled methods, student tools everyone makes, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or student-tailored earth maps. And you all got it right. It's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Great job. That was lots of fun, but now it's time for week 2 with Amanda and Nora. So they're going to come on, and Tanisha and I are going to leave. See you later.
Bye.
All right, we're back. It's Amanda.
And Nora here, telling the story of week 2, which was all about storytelling.
So let's go back in time and visit Sasha. All right, so in week 2, we learned about the beginning, middle, and end to stories and prepared Sasha some fabulous outfits for each.
We were able to make her look so fabulous by creating and importing different pieces, using Scratch design tools, and by learning about the different Scratch graphic formats, bitmap, and vector.
All right, so it's studio time. Let's look at some amazing projects from week 2. And all right, so let's load it up. Okay, cool. In the first project, the blue dress really shows a good understanding of the different Scratch tools. Some parts were drawn and the fill tool was also added. So excellent job.
Yeah, I would totally wear that dress.
I love that blue.
All right, now let's look at the second project. In the second project, we can see how this person used the gradient effect in the fill tool. So excellent job exploring.
Also, having a second sprite as a friend was a really nice touch. All of the different costumes were very creative. Excellent job.
And now let's see how much you all remember with a little Menti.
Yay! So we're going to head over to menti.com. You should be seeing the code on your screen, and I'll also read it out. 6907482.
All right, I hope everyone is able to join if they haven't already. And let's jump right into the question. If we wanted to import a costume from Google, we would have to press blank. Choose a costume, upload a costume, select camera, select surprise, or none of the above. Excellent. It looks like a lot of you got it right. It was upload a costume. Excellent job, everyone.
All right, let's move on to the second question. So, which tool allows us to curve shapes? A, the circle tool, B, select tool, C, the reshape tool, or D, the line tool?
We had fun using this tool, remember, Amanda? Good times.
Yeah, a lot of fun. All right, time's up. Great job, everyone. It was the reshape tool. Way to go.
All right, so now let's go into week 3, where we'll be reviewing sounds. I'll see you all later. Toodles!
See you soon. Take it away, Nardis and Yusra.
Thank you for the review of week 2, Amanda and Nora. So for week 3, our mentor Yusra is joining us. So welcome, Yusra.
Hello, everyone.
Why don't we go ahead and review sounds?
You mean like this?
Yes.
Remember our cool story, the frog, the fish, and the chick?
Of course, that was so much fun because of the amount of skills we used, like creating your plot, recording your sound, and checking for bugs in our program.
Speaking of which, I think it's studio time. Let's check some out.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at some projects. All right, so first up we have Play Sound Somia. And it looks like Bernie just ate the fish. And they changed the name to Stella. Wow, excellent job.
Poor Stella. Let's move on to the second project. And so it looks like, why don't we move on to the second project? Excellent job to this project again.
So excellent job. So hey, Yusra, do you know what's better than studio time?
Is it Menti game time?
It sure is. Hey everyone, why don't you all join this round of Menti?
Here's the code again, 6907482. It will also be in the chat and on the screen. So the first question, which of the following ways can you add sound to your Scratch project? Import a downloaded file, use the Scratch library, record a sound, or all of the above. 3 seconds on the clock.
Wow, excellent job everyone. Remember that under the Sounds tab of any sprite, you can import a previously downloaded file, use the Scratch library, or record your own sound. And now on to the next question.
What does broadcasting allow you to do? It can end the program, sprite-to-sprite communication, it can help with timing, all of the above, or none of the above. And this time you have 5 seconds on the clock.
All right, so the answer is all of the above. Remember that with the receive block, you can make a sprite do something when another sprite is communicating to it, such as ending the program. So excellent job, everyone.
And so it looks like it's time for week 4, so I'll be staying.
And I'll see you all later.
And now that I'm here, it's time to talk about week 4. So Yusra, what are some of the stuff that we learned during week 4?
Great question. We learned mathematics skills through the XY coordinate graph, coordinates, and loops. And by learning all that, the hungry hare became the full hare.
That's right. So it's studio time. So let's check out some of the projects.
Great idea.
And the first project we're taking a look at is called Hare Game Boomin'. It has the jumping hare, the gliding strawberry, and the gliding ball, which is changing colors. I'm so glad to see that this person utilized the ball's different costumes and they added a popping sound. That's pretty cool. Excellent job.
Yeah, so let's look at the second project. This is from Hare Game Rockman, and it looks like they also did similar things. They changed the costumes, they did notes and credits, and they used more than one sprite. So excellent job to this project. And so now that we've looked through some projects, it's game time.
Remember to stay on this Menti because we'll be coming back to it again and again throughout the lesson. Hey, Yusra, you know what also repeats again and again?
What, Mira?
A loop.
I see what you did there.
So once again, here's the code 6907482. And let's move on to the next question. So let's say I want my sprite to change costumes for the entire game. Should I A, put a 10 in the repeat block, B, use a forever block, C, use a wait block, or D, none of the above? We have 3 seconds left. And it looks like most of you got it right. We would use the forever block.
So let's move on to the next question. What does the next costume block do? A, it deletes the sprite. B, it hides the sprite. C, it automatically chooses the sprite's next costume. Or D, none of the above. And you have 5 seconds on the clock. And it looks like a majority of you got the correct answer. Excellent job. And so it looks like we have to go. Next up is week 5 starring Nardos and Avia.
So, hi everyone, I'm back.
Hi, everyone.
So, Avia, do you remember when we learned all about variables and how to use them to create scores for our games, like the hair game?
Of course, that was so exciting. I also remember we had a fun time using the sensing blocks to interact with the balloon sprites for our balloon popping game.
Yeah, we definitely did. So, guess what time it is? It's studio time. So, let's take a look at some awesome projects from week 5.
Sounds great. Ooh. So this user did an awesome job showing creativity by using the princess and the cheese puffs and fruit sprites. Awesome job.
Definitely. And I can see that they have notes and instructions as well. Excellent job.
On to the next one. Ah! Look! It's you, Nardos! Oh my god. Nice usage of changing balloon costumes. I like the different colors. We see purple, yellow.
Yeah, that looks so much fun. So now why don't we head on to game time?
Well, if you thought that was fun, yeah. Let's head on to game time.
And remember, we're using the same information as last time, so the code is 6907482.
For question 9, we have which one of these options can variables store? Letters, numbers, none of the above, or all of the above? Time's up.
Excellent. So it looks like a majority of you got it all correct. Yes, you can store all of the above into variables.
On to the next question. Can you make a variable and not have it show up on the stage screen? Yes or no? Got 10 seconds.
3 seconds.
Time's up.
Yep, and like a majority of you all said, yes, you can make it not show up on the screen by unchecking the blue check mark.
Well, I guess it's time to head out. Now, Nora and Vagish are here to present week 6.
Yeah, there they are. See you all soon.
Hello, everyone.
Nora and Vagish here on a special mission to send Kiran home from outer space.
Let's review week 6. In week 6, we created a 3-part game with the help of functions.
By defining and calling functions through block programming in Scratch, we were able to make Kiran jump for the stars.
We also even talked maths and introduced XY coordinates and degrees. All right,
Let's get
now
into
let's
the
check
studio.
out some studio projects. Okay, now this first project took a very creative approach and used a cup jumping for oranges to make juice. It was also excellent how this person incorporated things from this week and the week before so that if you hit a butterfly, the game ends. And we'll see now. Excellent job.
And jump.
They're jumping for the oranges. All right.
I love how the cup has a face.
And now you can see the game ends. Game over side.
All right, so the next project we wanted to highlight was a little different because Kiran dyed her hair and has a different outfit. Very creative. There's also tons of sound effects and a new smile costume that we really liked. So, let's see.
All
Sounds like an old school game. Tink.
right. Yeah, that is a really cool song. Oh, you lose. Well, that's all right. Now, you all know the drill. It's Menti time. So
All right,
join
log
in
in if you haven't. Yep.
All right. First question, how does a computer keep track of the location of items on a screen? By using variables, using an XY coordinate grid, by using a compass, or by using computer language?
Let's see what they've put in. Oh, and it looks like almost everyone got it right. It is by using a coordinate grid.
Now on to the
Move
second
on.
question.
Right. Which blocks call functions? We have the blocks, the looks block, the my blocks, the operator blocks, or the motion blocks. Ooh, a split. Well, it looks like about half of you guys got it right.
Excellent job.
So, I guess with that, we start week 7. Bye-bye.
Week 6 is done, so now it's time to move on to week 7, also known as Ice Cream Week. Hey, Paulo.
Hey, Nardos. Now I want ice cream. So let's look at what we learned that week.
So we were able to learn about lists, design tools, computer graphics, and literary plot like the previous weeks.
And because I still want ice cream, let's look at some projects to see their favorite ice cream, because it's studio time. This first project we have is called Shop Subby. They have some really nice music in the background, and I see that they've added some new introduction backdrops as well. Then we use the space key to open the door, and there's also use of text-to-speech here.
Welcome to Scratch Ice Cream Shop. May I know your name, please?
And then they allow us to input our name as well so that they can say hello, which is a very creative touch. They've also changed the color of the backdrop and the text on top.
Take a look.
And there are also different flavors here as well.
Wow.
Have you tried that flavor before?
No, but I would like to sometime.
Your total is 40 rupees. Here's your bill. Thank you for shopping at Scratch Ice Cream Shop by E.
Excellent job, Savi.
Yeah, and now we can take a look at our second project. So this is Shop Khadija. And wow, it looks like the person is so hungry they can almost eat the entire shop. So let's head in. Wow, so it looks like they changed the sprite. The tiles have different colors. The backdrop is different. And we also have a new counter. Looks like we've got a variety of flavors.
What are we going to choose this time? Mango. Good choice.
Ooh. And the ice cream cone also looks different. Wow,
It
excellent
does.
job, Khadija.
Great work, guys.
So, Paula, I hope your love for ice cream has been solved with those excellent projects. But now it is time for Menti.
Let's head on over to the Menti once again using the same code.
Yep, remember the code is 6907482.
And how does the computer remember the player's answer after using the ask and wait block? Does it guess? It stores the answer as a temporary variable. You can't save the answer, or it makes a new permanent variable to store the answer. And wow, it looks like most of you got it right.
Yeah, so remember that Scratch gives us the ask and wait block along with the temporary variable answer. So now on to our next question.
And remember to answer fast to get more points.
All right, let's make sure we have our second question.
Seems to be taking a second.
Yep, please be patient. We might be having some technical difficulties, so let's just give it some time. And there we are.
So question 14, you can store variables in a list, function, none of the above, or all of the above.
3 seconds left.
Ooh, there's a split answer here.
Yeah, so remember that we learned that we can store values or variables in a list. Excellent job, everyone. And now let's head back to our presentation so that we can transition to week 8.
Thank you, Nardos and Bhagesh. And now it's time for week 8. So hello, everyone. I'm back.
Hey, everyone. Mira, I was just wondering, what was your favorite activity?
My favorite activity? Wow, that's hard. I can't choose. I'm going to say all of the activities were my favorite. I had fun flying kites, baking cookies, and making samosas. In week 8, we had to make some decisions in our Choose Your Own Adventure game.
We had to choose between kites, cookies, or samosas by coding different story paths using Boolean operators and if-then-else statements. Now, we're going to head over to the studio to see some of the projects that were made. Looks like the first project was made by someone called Mistress Brain. Wow, that's an interesting username. Just by taking a first look at it, it looks like we can see all the wall colors in the backdrop were changed. Great job. Okay, so there are 4 different paths that this game could take, but we're going to stay indoors and bake some cookies. Okay, great. This looks exactly like the project that we added to Studio 8. And now we're baking some cookies. I really love the way that they've also given the instructions in the appropriate credits in the side. That's a good practice. Wow, these cookies look really delicious. Excellent job. And that's the end of the story.
That was a great project. Now let's take a look at the second one. So this was made by someone named Kato 2010, and it has music. This project incorporated a lot of creative details while choosing what to do on the holidays. So from the beginning, we can see that there's an entirely different backdrop and different sprites. This time it's a girl. And now that we've gone to the beach, we can see that this person has a crab, but also added a beach ball and a surfer. This was very creative, so excellent job. And now it is time for our Menti. Let's see if you all remember what we learned. So question 15. Here we go. Binary code uses A, letters, A and B, or B, numbers, 0 and 1, C, symbols, or D, images. 3, 2, 1. That's correct, numbers 0 and 1. So let's move on to question number 2.
Okay, now our next question is, true is represented by a dash and false is represented by a dash. Your options are true is a 0, false is 1, true is 1, false is 0. You can use either value for true and false or none of the above. You have about 10 seconds to answer this question.
This one might be a little tricky. Read carefully.
Okay, that's great. Looks like almost everyone got it right. True is 1 and false is 0. Great job, guys.
So let's head back to the presentation. And last but certainly not least, let's end the review with an amazing time in week 9. Nardos and Bhagesh, take it away.
Hi, all. Nardos here.
And Vagish, coming at you with the last project we built together from week 9.
It was amazing. So first, we built the arrow key controls and then incorporated some wall collision.
Afterwards, we also added some fun features like a pen feature, darkness, and a hot and cold sensor.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that we submitted this project to the Coolest Projects competition.
Talking of projects, let's check out our studio.
Yep, let's take a look.
The first product we have is May's Rachel. And as it loads up, this one's a little different because they use different sprites. So instead of a mouse, this time it's a cat. And they've used the hot and cold sensor as usual and the pen tool to help guide us back. We're getting warm and hotter. And as we make our way to the key, the darkness goes and we can find our way back to the milk. There's also instructions and credits, and everything seems to be in place.
Wow, that was really creative to change the sprites.
Up, down, up. Also, the background has changed. If you didn't notice, it's now a little yellow and white. And a sound effect to top it all off.
Excellent job. And for our next project, we have May's Johan. So we have some new background music. And it also looks like this maze is a little different. And our sensor is still blue, so this maze must be much harder.
It looks very big.
Definitely. And we also have instructions and notes and credits to give us the most information about the project. So that is an excellent job.
I like the spooky music. You know, it kind of
definitely
makes me feel like I'm in a movie. Exploring the
for
maze.
sure. And it looks like we're getting warm.
I think we went down the wrong way. We got cold again.
Yep, let's go back. And remember, we use our pen to be able to follow our track back. And now we're able to locate the cheese, and then we would find the key. So that was a nice change. Excellent job. So now you all know the flow. It is game time. So use this code 6907482. And let's start with our first question.
So question 17, answering fast as usual. How can you personalize your project? So let the options come up. You can use materials in the backpacking tool by remixing another Scratcher's project, by creating your own material, or all of the above. And let's see what we have. Oh, all of the above, right. Looks like most of us got it right.
Yep, and let's move on to the next question.
Whoop. Question 18. As usual, what type of data did we store in our variable to make the hot and cold sensor? Did we store time, distance, position, or all of the above? 1.
Excellent job, everyone. The correct answer is distance. So it looks like we can take a look at the leaderboard. Let's see who got number 1 for this mini Menti.
Ooh.
Dia Elizabeth. Excellent job. Yay, so now we can head back to our presentation because that's a wrap on our review. But Vagish, remember the Coolest Projects competition?
You have less than a day to register. So the last date for registration is May 3rd. So do it fast.
And what's really cool is that we've submitted 2 projects from the Starting from Scratch series. And here is the first one. Isn't it so cool? Yeah. And you can check it out yourself using the description down below in the YouTube description.
I do know that we also submitted the hidden cheese project we created in week 9. And
yeah, but remember that we have some instructions as well as the description of our project on there. So I think it's really awesome that anyone from the world can look at our projects.
Very neat indeed. We've already made a video guide to help everyone register for the Coolest Projects competition. In the video, we walk through each step for signing up, so be sure to check it out on the CodeTigers YouTube channel.
Yeah, so let's head back to our presentation because now we know that we can play the game on the Coolest Projects website.
We also have a Coolest Projects studio, so we as mentors can celebrate your work. So make sure whatever projects you submit for the Coolest Projects competition, you also put in the studio that we'll link down below.
Yeah, and in addition to the video, we want to make it super clear and easy for you to submit a project for the Coolest Projects competition. So why don't we just switch over to Mira and Pallav so that they can tell us some more.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. So like Nardo said, we actually have a special guest who will be joining us to tell us a little bit more about it. Some of you might have already met her.
Let's all welcome Vasu from the Raspberry Pi Foundation, who organized the competition.
Welcome, Vasu. We're so glad that you could join us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, so we just had some questions for you. We were wondering if you would answer them for us.
Sure. Go
So
ahead.
the first is, could you tell us a bit about yourself and who you are and what you do?
Well, so my name's Vasu. My full name is Vasundhara, but that's probably a little difficult to pronounce. So Vasu is good. I work with the Raspberry Pi Foundation. I've been in the education sector for some time now. I've been, recently exploring how education and technology, how can we explore them together, and hence my stint at Raspberry Pi. I worked with Government of Karnataka, Government of Delhi, and Government of Odisha before this. But yeah, happy to be here and just exploring, just learning like you guys.
Yeah, thank you. So could you tell us a little bit more about the Raspberry Pi Foundation? Give us a brief overview.
Sure. So Raspberry Pi Foundation is a UK-based not-for-profit, and with the vision of putting the power of computing and digital making in the hands of people all across the world. So those can be young people, those can be adults. We do a couple of things. Largely, we work in, so there are three pillars of what we do. One is the non-formal side of it, which is where we run our clubs, which is where we support our community, which is Code Club, Code Dojos, Coolest Projects. It sort of comes in the non-formal learning space. We also are in the formal learning space, majoritarily in the UK, which, they work with the NCC equivalent CBSE system in India. And the third strand being research, because we genuinely believe that the field of computing education is hugely under researched, and so the research not only strengthens our program, but it also contributes to the larger field. And I'm glad that organizations like CodeTigers and organizations like yours, Mira, in the US are just big. Are sort of contributing into the bigger ocean. So yeah, that's largely about Raspberry Pi Foundation.
That's really amazing that you guys are in so many different fields at the same time and just expanding. That's really great. So we were wondering if you could give us a quick overview about the Coolest Projects competition as well.
Yeah, so Coolest Projects, initially started. It's been a long journey, guys. Coolest Projects started about 9 to 10 years ago as physical in-person events, and it's only because of COVID that the competition has transitioned to being online. Now, while Coolest Projects, so US has hosted it, UK has hosted it, Ireland has hosted it, and many other countries, but India has never sort of hosted a Coolest Projects and sort of never taken part in it. And because it is online, many countries like India can now participate. And that's why it's easily one of the world's leading sort of leading tech showcase for young people. So it's there for, it's flexible, it's open for anyone who's below 18. And why, competitions, like any competition, it sparks curiosity, it sparks creativity, creativity. It encourages students to explore their creative side and competitive side as well. Coolest projects is just like that, and I'm happy that countries like India and many other countries can now participate in a global sort of global challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and so for this next question, I think we asked it in week 4, but we'd like to hear it again, just for anyone who didn't hear it. Yeah, so what kind of projects can people submit in the Coolest Project competition?
Great question. And I think it will be good for the viewers who are tuning in. So any creation which involves digital making, right? So Coolest Projects is very, very flexible in terms of accepting projects. Has 6 categories, right? So the first category being Scratch. It's very straightforward Scratch projects. The second category is web. So any websites that you develop using HTML, Java, any language that you prefer, right? Third category is games. Again, you can use so many languages to create games. You can also create a game on Scratch, but that would be Scratch category. You can use an app inventor and then any other languages that anyone prefers. Then there is hardware, which is very straightforward, that if you're using any sort of hardware, be it a Raspberry Pi, be it an Arduino, be it anything else. Then there is advanced programming. Yeah, and that's it. So what type of projects? My only one line answer to you would be any creation that involves any amount of digital making, which is coding, programming to any extent, that is acceptable and that is welcome in Coolest Projects.
So there's a lot of flexibility on the kind of projects that they can submit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and our next question is, what are you looking for in the projects? What are some of the features that they may be judged on?
Yes, great question. I get asked that question a lot. And my only thing is Coolest Projects, while it is a challenge and while it is a competition, and while we do have judges, we don't really quote unquote judge. But yes, we do have criterias because it's mostly about celebration, right? It's mostly about celebration of how creative young people can be. But having said that, there are 2 phases in which we are judging the projects. In the first phase, so it is coolest project. So judges are looking at how cool the projects are. So they are looking at coolness, they are looking at complexity, they are looking at presentation and communication, because there are videos that are required for all the other 5 categories apart from Scratch. And then there is design and usability, right? How applicable is the project? Then in the second phase is where we will have our panel of special judges coming in, and our special judges have been announced as well. And those special judges will then select their favorites, and those will be announced in June. So,
wonderful. Yeah. So some students might actually be hesitant about joining this competition. So could you tell us a little bit about how they could benefit from submitting a project?
Right. First and foremost, no idea is big or small. So my only suggestion is whatever you have whatever you have learned, just submit it. Don't hesitate. Don't think, all right, okay, who's going to look at it? Because there are judges going to be looking at it. There are people going to be looking at it. Yes. I think one of the biggest sort of motivation factors that I tell students is that, there is an online showcase, and there are so many people that will look at your project, and that in itself should power you up, right? One of the other things that should motivate people is that everyone will get a certificate, and getting a certificate from an international perspective does give you a boost, does give students a boost. So yeah, and apart from that, I think the process that the students go through, it's an entire design thinking process. You think about an idea, you think about a solution, you start creating a prototype around that solution, and then you present it. So that process in itself is very rewarding.
I agree. It's just a great learning opportunity, if anything else, to participate. And
Yeah.
before we move on to the next question, I'd just like to answer the question that's been put up here. We have a video guide on the same CodeTigers channel regarding how to sign into or register for the competition. So please check that out if you would like to find out more about it. And I think we have time for one more question. So are you planning on organizing any more competitions like this in the future?
Oh, yes, of course. So we are definitely planning to host similar competitions on an international level and on a national level as well. So yeah, 100% up for that. And in fact, I am going to rope you guys in order to, help us organize and, conduct that competition. So get ready.
We'd be happy to help out.
Awesome.
So I think we're actually going to wrap up this interview so that we can stay on time. But that's all the questions that we have for you today. And Vasu, we're so glad that we got to speak with you. So thank you so much for joining us. So I will head back to the presentation and we can wrap up.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
To the person asking about whether they can register, anyone below the age of 18 can register for the project, for the competition, but there's only 1 day left to register, so do so fast if you want to register.
Okay, so are we ready to move on to our Mega Mentee?
I think we are.
Alrighty, so to wrap up, starting from scratch, we're going to be ending with a Mega Mentee, like we said. So let's get excited and join the game. And this is a different code.
Over here. Yeah.
So 4336 3788. And I'll head over to the Mentee.
Remember that this is a new Mentee.
Are you guys excited?
Ready.
I'm super excited.
Let's do this.
The last
final Mentee.
Wow.
Here we go. Oh, and people have already started answering. So it looks like a majority of our students are from India. We don't see any US students yet. But welcome, everyone. And I think we can move on to our next question.
This one's a tough one.
So right now, it looks like we have more girls than boys. But let's give it a couple more seconds and see if it evens out.
Girl power.
Ooh, girl in STEM.
All right, next question. As usual, what class are you in? Class 2 to 4, class 5 through 6, 7 through 8, or other? And it looks like we have a tie. Oh, 3 tie.
Oh.
And now it looks like a majority of students are from class 5 through 6.
I remember when I was in that grade. Good times.
Good times.
Good times.
So on to our next question. So true or false? Oh no, it looks like it's how can coding help you in schools? So if you answered all of the above, that is correct.
So the next question is, how do we as programmers set up different storylines that users picks in the same project? And it looks like a majority, if you have it correct, use broadcasting and conditionals. The answer isn't loading. 1 second. Let's try exiting the Mentee and coming back in.
Yeah, let's restart so that everyone has the opportunity to play the game.
Sounds good.
While she's working on that, why don't we share our favorite? Oh,
There we go.
Okay, while that's loading, remember that with all of our review of the coolest projects competition, that if you are 13 and below, that you must have your parents register for yourself. But if you are over 13 and still under 18, you can submit your own projects.
And we've been seeing all your excellent work, so we really hope you guys register.
Definitely use the skills that you've learned in this class, and you can have your project showcased to the rest of the world, just like our hidden cheese and shop for ice cream projects.
Don't forget to add it to the studio.
Yep, and that's link is in the description down below.
Oh.
Okay, let's try this again. So for anyone who didn't catch it, the code is 43363788. And again, it looks like the majority of our students are from India. So let's move on to the next question.
Once again, take your time with this one. It's a pretty difficult one.
looks like the girls are still in the lead.
Only by a little
The
bit.
boys are catching up.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Next up, what class are you in? And looks like we still have a majority, class 5 to 6. So let's move on to our first quiz question.
And here are all of our players.
Yeah, and we're going to give it a couple more seconds for you all to join. Remember, the code is 43363788.
Ooh, I see the unicorn emoticon. Love it.
Are those feet?
I think they are. I'm gonna miss seeing all these emojis.
Yeah, and the volcano. That is cool. I haven't seen that before.
There's a cute little snowman at the bottom as well.
It looks like there's a tiger like CodeTigers as well. So that's pretty cool.
Nice one, Yusra.
We got the unicorn. Why don't you all type in the chat which icon you all are?
I wonder how they come up with the icons.
Yeah, they're so creative.
We do know it does involve code.
Oh.
Good point, Abia.
Okay, I think it's time for us to get started.
All right, so let's make sure we're on question 1. There we go, and click enter to start. All right, so our first question is, how can coding help you in school? Does it help you better in English? Does it help you become better in science? Helps you better in math? None of the above or all of the above? Yes, so you answered all of the above. Excellent job. That is true.
Now on to question 2. And how do we as programmers set up different storylines that the user picks in the same project? Using broadcasting and conditionals, we have a lot of different stories in random orders. We use loops or both A and B. And the correct answer was using broadcasting and conditionals. That was a tricky question.
Let's move on to the next question. Remember to answer fast to get more points. What careers will programming allow you to prepare for? A, software engineer, B, cybersecurity, C, systems analyst, D, A and B, or all of the above? And looks like we have our answers. And looks like most of you got it correct. That's right. All of the above. It helps you because you can become a software engineer, cybersecurity, or systems analyst.
And now question 4. Remember to answer fast. Okay, which pen tool block begins drawing? Pen up, pen down, erase all, or change color to? Excellent job. It was pen down. It can be confusing because you think about picking up a pen, but no, your pen has to be down to touch the imaginary paper.
Okay, now on to the 5th question. Which of these is a coding language? And your options for this question are Java, Minecraft, Python, Java and Minecraft, Python and Java, or all of the above. Let's wait for all the answers to come in. And the answers are Python and Java. Though Minecraft may look like a coding language, it's not. But great job, everyone who got it right.
All right, on to question 6. And it's loading. All right. Which format displays in pixels? Is it bitmap or vector? Think back all the way to week 2. I know it's been a while, so here we go. Time's up. It looks like a majority of you guys got it right. It is bitmap. Good job.
Let's move on to question number 7. How can you slow down the timing of a Scratch program? Use broadcasting, use the wait block, break up the sections of code, A and B, or none of the above. That's right, it's A and B. Good job to 7 of you, just like question 7.
Now moving on to question number 8. Which tool can delete a white background the best? Is it A, the eraser tool, B, the brush tool, C, the fill tool, or D, the reshape tool? And we have our answers. Ooh, it seems like there's a split vote. And the correct option is C, the fill tool. Because even though an eraser tool may be able to erase it, a fill tool actually allows you to fill the background a different color.
All right, on to question 9. Remember to answer fast. What is a loop? A type of serial, a sequence of instructions that are repeated, another name for a sprite, or a sequence of instructions that are never repeated? Time's up. Excellent job, everyone. It is a sequence of instructions that are repeated.
On to question 10. And Mentimeter will still remind us to answer fast despite us doing this for 10 weeks now. So what language do computers understand? It is binary, English, machine, A and B, A and C, or all of the above. Well, I talk to my computer in English, so, well, everyone's smarter than me, of course. It is A and C.
All right, so why is it important to personalize your projects? Does it allow us to better understand what blocks, or does it make our project unique? Make us better coders by exploring different blocks? A and B, A and C, or all of the above? Yep, and if you said all of the above, you are correct. So excellent job.
All right, now it's time for question 12. What is the average salary a person graduating from college makes if they have a computer science degree? $100,000, $150,000, $86,000, $53,000, or 40?
I wish I could have $150,000.
Don't we all? The correct answer is $68,000, and this is in US currency.
On to our next one.
All right, let's head on to question 13. You want your friend to try out your program before submitting for the coolest projects competition? What part of the design cycle is that? Understand, empathize, test, ideate, or prototype? Time's up. And yes, that is the correct answer. Test. Great job.
Okay, now let's take a look at the 14th question. This is one of the last few ones, so be sure to answer it quickly. And your question is, what is a Boolean? Remember, we covered this in week 8. Is it a data type where the only values are true or false? Is it a function, an if then else statement, A and B, A and C, or all of the above? And your time's up. And great job to the people who got A as the answer. It's a data type where the only possible values are true or false.
So now it's time for question 15, which means we're only 2 questions away from seeing the leaderboard. I wonder who's going to win. So why do we have a delete block? To clear the list before we add to it, to make sure that the values don't keep repeating, to hide the list, A and B, or none of the above. The answer was A and B. So on to our next question.
The second to last question. Stakes are high. How many degrees are in a circle? 365, 360, 270, or 15? 3 seconds on the clock. Remember, it's the second to last question. That's right, 360. Excellent job.
All right. Now, question 17, our final question. Then we'll be able to see our leaderboard. So excited to see who won. Last question. What is the last day you can submit your project to the coolest project competition? June 8th, May 3rd, July 10th, or May 15th? A lot of you got it right. It is May 3rd. Remember, it's tomorrow or today, depending on where you are. So make sure to hurry up and submit your project.
And now let's check out our leaderboard.
Let's see who won. So exciting. This has been a long Menti, definitely.
And the winner is Stasha. Woo! Great job!
Yeah.
Congrats, Stasha.
All right, so now we are done with the Menti. So great job again to everyone who participated. And so let's head back to the presentation where Amanda, Mira, and I will talk about class resources. So we'll have
All right.
that load.
Great. So while you're getting ready to submit a coolest project competition, you might want to look back at everything we've learned so far, which is a lot. The videos are all on the CodeTigers YouTube channel, but we also have other class resources.
That's right, and we'll have the link in the descriptions and in the chat.
So basically what I'm hearing is I can go back to any lesson in case I want to code again.
That's right.
And so that means here are all the links to all the classes. So why don't we look at some of the examples live?
So this is actually from class 9. It was the maze game, and these are just 3 of the slides that explain some of the coding concepts and how we made the game in detail. And you all have access to this because the link is going to be in the description. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And now, why don't we have everyone come back on so we can wrap up?
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so now that we have wrapped up our class resources, everyone do make sure to
Like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell down below.
Aw, it looks like it's time to go. It's been such a pleasure to work on this class, and we hope that the skills you learned in this series will continue to grow your computer science experience. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Best of luck, everyone.